Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. According to the research of some historians, in ancient China, the numerous concubines in the emperor's harem primarily relied on two factors to elevate their status. The emperor's favor. Mother's status is elevated by her son. After all, giving birth to an heir for the royal family was not only a significant contribution to the emperor, but also an extraordinary achievement. Therefore, pregnant concubines often enjoyed higher treatment than ordinary ones, which was considered entirely normal. Moreover, in various dynasties, pregnant concubines were often provided with a full range of protective measures, rewards, and preferential policies. These concubines were not only carefully attended to in terms of diet and daily living, but even their daily routines were meticulously arranged to ensure a smooth childbirth. Thus, for ancient concubines, the primary goal of serving the emperor in bed was to conceive, especially to bear a son. If a concubine who had already gained favor became pregnant, she gained additional leverage to compete for more affection and status. Even concubines who were not highly favored could improve their treatment if they became pregnant, as they could enjoy preferential treatment during pregnancy that they would otherwise not receive. However, these privileges came with certain preconditions, usually with strict hierarchical limits. Concubines of different ranks were entitled to different levels of treatment and could not exceed their rank. However, these regulations did not seem to fully apply to Cixi, Empress Dowager Cixi. According to related records, when Cixi was still a concubine of Emperor Qianlong, the treatment she received during pregnancy was among the most exceptional in the Qing Dynasty harem, arguably the most special in over 200 years of Qing history. No other concubine received such high-level preferential treatment. This was not because Emperor Qianlong favored Cixi so much, but because Cixi was carrying the emperor's heir, a child of great importance to him. After all, in a feudal society, the emperor's succession was crucial to the stability of the court. Having an heir meant the future of the dynasty and the continuation of power. Therefore, the special care that Emperor Qianlong gave Cixi was more out of concern for the child's future significance. It is well known that in ancient China, the saying, "many children bring prosperity," held true. Having many offspring was seen as a sign of a flourishing family, especially having sons, as it represented the continuation of one's career and wealth. For an emperor, this was even more important. Sons not only ensured the continuation of the family, but also had a profound impact on the stability of the nation. The emperor having an heir meant the dynasty had a successor, ensuring the continuity of the nation. The emperors of the Qing dynasty placed particular importance on this. For instance, Emperor Guangxu, who worked tirelessly throughout his life, fathered 35 sons and 20 daughters with his concubines, adding 55 members to the Qing royal family. If we were to gather Guangxu's children together, apart from the few we are familiar with, most of the others would likely remain nameless. However, starting with Emperor Jiaqing, the number of heirs began to decrease dramatically. By the time of Emperor Qianlong, he had only 2 sons, one of whom died early. More importantly, the emperors who followed, Tongzhi, Guangxu, and Puyi, did not leave behind any sons. It's clear that the Qing royal family was gradually losing its former glory. In this context, Emperor Qianlong, who had yet to have a son, faced a critical situation when Cixi became pregnant. Regardless of the child's gender, this child was of immense importance for both Emperor Qianlong and the Qing dynasty. Therefore, Cixi received unprecedented special treatment during her pregnancy. This was not due to Emperor Qianlong's particular affection for Cixi, but because he urgently needed an heir to stabilize the Qing Empire. If Cixi could bear a son, it would mean the Qing dynasty had a successor, allowing him to face the Qing ancestors with confidence. It is worth noting that Emperor Qianlong, Izan Zhoroishuan, was the last emperor of the Qing dynasty and Chinese history to hold actual governing power. He was the 4th son of Emperor Daoguang, and his mother was Empress Shaoquancheng, Nainyo Hulu. Emperor Qianlong was named crown prince in the 26th year of Daoguang, 1846, and ascended to the throne in the 30th year of Daoguang, 1850. After becoming emperor, he diligently worked on political affairs, attempting a series of reforms in a bid to save the crisis-ridden Qing Empire. Emperor Xianfeng implemented a series of reforms to restore stability to the country. He heavily relied on Han officials like Sun Guofan, and with the help of Zheng's military forces, successfully suppressed the Taiping Rebellion and the Nian Rebellion. At the same time, he promoted ministers like Su Hun, who were willing to reform, to help reorganize the court. However, despite his numerous efforts, the Qing Empire continued to face internal and external threats. To face both internal and external challenges, the later years of the Xianfeng Emperor's reign saw the beginning of the self-strengthening movement, aimed at revitalizing the country through the introduction of Western technology and reforms. Therefore, the Xianfeng Emperor can be considered a proactive ruler. However, when it came to the issue of his heirs, he was deeply anxious. At this time, Empress Dowager Cixi became pregnant, and rumors spread that she might be carrying a son. How could the Xianfeng Emperor not be moved? How could he not elevate Cixi's status? In his desire to ensure a son to inherit the Qing throne, he evidently extended unprecedented privileges to Cixi. However, the Xianfeng Emperor's excitement went a bit too far. He not only granted Cixi high treatment but also surpassed many customary protocols, creating the highest level of pregnancy treatment for a concubine in Qing history, something never seen before. Let's discuss what privileges the Xianfeng Emperor granted to Cixi. According to historical records, after Cixi became pregnant, the Xianfeng Emperor was as restless as an ant on a hot pan, fearing that something might happen and his long-awaited heir would be lost. To ensure Cixi's safety, he immediately provided her with the utmost protection. Later, the Xianfeng Emperor, still not reassured, invited Cixi's mother, Lady Fucha, along with 2 other women from Cixi's household, to stay in the Renshou Palace to care for her day and night. This may seem like a simple gesture, but according to Qing regulations, only after a concubine had given birth could her mother enter the palace to visit. The Xianfeng Emperor, in his determination to ensure that Cixi received the best care, opened a back door for her and allowed her mother to enter the palace ahead of time, which was an extremely unusual move at that time. Despite having the care of her mother, a large team was still assigned to attend to Cixi in the Renshou Palace. However, the Xianfeng Emperor remained uneasy. When Cixi was 6 months pregnant, he increased the number of caretakers, sending 10 eunuchs and 20 palace maids to rotate shifts and guard her around the clock, to prevent any unexpected incidents. At the 8th month of Cixi's pregnancy, the Xianfeng Emperor took precautions to the extreme. The entire Renshou Palace was under strict surveillance, with regular reports on Cixi's condition, to leave nothing to chance. He also deployed 2 imperial doctors on night shifts in the imperial pharmacy, ensuring that they could handle any emergencies. Additionally, 6 imperial doctors were assigned in 2 shifts to provide 24-hour care, with a special midwife assigned to watch over Cixi during the night. In preparation for the future young prince, the Xianfeng Emperor even mobilized the imperial household department. He ordered the preparation of 27 spring silk coats, 18 blankets, 10 beds with blue Korean cloth, and various silks and satins. A total of 149 items. All of this was prepared before Cixi had even given birth. Of course, the Xianfeng Emperor also did not forget to prepare various items for Cixi herself, making thorough arrangements for the childbirth process. It can be said that the Xianfeng Emperor made exhaustive preparations for Cixi's pregnancy and delivery, sparing no effort to ensure everything was perfect. By the 9th month of Cixi's pregnancy, the Xianfeng Emperor's care reached its peak. At this critical moment, he increased the frequency of the imperial doctors' checkups, having them take Cixi's pulse every 15 minutes. Roughly calculated, Cixi was examined at least 96 times a day. From this, we can clearly see how intense the Xianfeng Emperor's anxiety was. His anxiety was focused primarily on the child in Cixi's womb, a boy who was of immense importance to him. Finally, the Xianfeng Emperor's anxiety was rewarded when Cixi, after completing her full term, went into labor. On the afternoon of April 27, 1856, Cixi began to feel restless, showing signs of impending labor. At 2 p.m., with the cry of a newborn, the Xianfeng Emperor was immediately informed of the joyful news. Cixi had safely given birth to a son, and both mother and child were well. Overcome with emotion, the Xianfeng Emperor almost leaped with joy and immediately elevated Cixi from the title of Yi Pin to Yi Fei, and shortly after, further promoted her to Gui Fei. The birth of this child also brought Cixi unparalleled power and status. As time passed, Cixi's position was solidified, and with her son's rise to the throne, she gradually strengthened her influence. After the death of the Xianfeng Emperor, she and Empress Dowager Cixi jointly took control, eventually ushering in her reign that lasted for half a century. The fate of the Qing Empire thus took a dramatic turn. In a certain sense, Cixi was undoubtedly lucky. Not only did she receive immense favor, but at a crucial moment in history. She was able to change the destiny of the entire country with her wisdom and the opportunities she seized. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.